I never did live the character, and I never played the character. That is, I never played Wonder Woman. I always played Diana.
Who wouldn't want to date the beautiful film stars of the 70s? These women were heartthrobs back in the day, coveted for their brilliance, looks, and talent. Today, they've evolved, but they're still just as beautiful. Let's have a look at how these women are now compared to how they were before. Number 15. Ellen Anton. Anton was born on October 12, 1950 in Yucaipa, California. She began her journey in showbiz after winning Miss California in 1969. Soon, Anton graced TV screens, making her debut in The Great American Beauty Contest. Her fame soared as the face of Muriel cigars and Serta mattresses in the early 70s. Eventually, ABC offered her a summer series, Mel and Susan Together, partnering with Mel Tillis, which highlighted her singing and comedy skills. Despite her relatively unknown status, this was the turning point in her career. Her popularity soared after this. In 1979, she starred in a short-lived but memorable series, Cliffhangers. Her segment, titled Stop Susan Williams, captivated audiences so much that it transformed into a TV movie, The Girl Who Saved the World. But it wasn't until 1979 that she graced the silver screen with her leading role in Golden Girl, alongside James Coburn. Acknowledged by Time magazine as one of the most promising stars of 1979, Susan Anton returned to NBC's radar. She headlined her variety show, Presenting Susan Anton, a solo act continuing her 1978 success. While there were people who couldn't stop swooning over this beauty, her relationship with TV star Dudley Moore was extremely popular, thanks to their unusual height difference. Today, Susan remains a versatile entertainer, involved in acting, singing, and production. She also dedicates a lot of her time to charitable acts, proving that her talents extend far beyond the stage and screen. But she wasn't the only blonde star who had the entire world gripped with her exceptional style. Number 14. Charo. She was best known for her signature platinum blonde hair, beautiful figure, and her infectious catchphrase, Coochie Coochie. Born with the name of Maria del Rosario Mercedes Pilar Martinez, she isn't just good at one thing. This Spanish-American woman has remained an actor, singer, comedian, and flamenco guitarist. She was discovered by bandleader Xavier Cugat. Their marriage in 1966 launched her into the spotlight, with Cugat proudly showcasing her talents in Las Vegas and New York shows. Between 1965 and 1967, she made 4 appearances on The Ed Sullivan Show alongside her husband, which broadened her reach further. By the early 70s, Charo was headlining in Las Vegas, commanding fees on par with Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. Between her musical commitments, Charo graced TV screens in the 70s with appearances on shows like The Love Boat and Ironside. In 1976, she starred in an unsold pilot episode of Charo and the Sergeant, which was solely broadcast on the American Armed Forces Network overseas. A divorce from Cugat in 1978 led her to marry Kel Raston. The couple enjoyed years in Hawaii and didn't return to California until 2015. Charo now continues to make occasional TV appearances, her most recent being on RuPaul's Drag Race in March 2020. Her charm and charisma still shine brightly, making her one of the most appreciated figures in the entertainment world. But apart from great looks and talent, some female stars have the most inspiring success stories, as you're about to see. Number 13. Lola Falana. Lola's journey began when Sammy Davis Jr., a renowned singer, discovered her and paved the way for her career. He even offered her a role in the 1964 Broadway show Golden Boy. Her singing talent shone, and in 1965 she released her first single, My Baby, on Mercury Records. The next year she graced the silver screen in her debut feature film, A Man Called Adam, co-starring with Sammy Davis Jr. The movie delved into the life of a self-destructive jazz musician portrayed by Davis. The 70s marked the peak of her career, with appearances on TV shows such as The New Cosby Show and The Streets of San Francisco. She even earned a Golden Globe nomination for her role in The Liberation of L.B. Jones. In 1970, thanks to her timeless beauty, she appeared on the pages of Playboy and became the face of Fabergé's Tigress line of cosmetics and perfumes. Vegas also became her stage in the 70s, where she ruled as the Queen of Las Vegas. Her electrifying shows at the Riviera, the Sands, and the MGM Grand were always a hit. Lana secured her spot as the highest-paid female performer in Las Vegas, commanding up to $100,000 per show for 20 weeks a year. In 1980, multiple sclerosis struck, which put an indefinite stop to her career. Her determination, newfound faith in Catholicism, and relentless therapy helped her overcome the illness. Within 5 months, she was back on her feet. Though her performing days are now over, she dedicates her time to the Lambs of God ministry, a cause that supports orphan children in sub-Saharan Africa. However, this list won't be complete without the next 70s beauty on this list. Number 12. Lynda Carter. 1972 marked the beginning of Carter's journey to fame as she won a local beauty contest in Arizona. But nationally, nobody really knew her until she bagged the title of Miss World USA while representing her home state. After this, she moved on to acting, attending classes in various New York acting schools. Her first taste of the acting world came in 1974 when she appeared in an episode of the police drama Nakia titled Roots of Anger. From there, she was all over the television screens in shows like Starsky and Hutch and Coz, and also appeared in several B-movies. Carter's turning point came when she got the leading role in Wonder Woman, portraying both the iconic character and her alter ego, Diana Prince. At this point, her parents' financial support had been very low, and the dream of acting in Los Angeles was almost slipping away. But then, a twist of fate changed everything, as Carter's manager conveyed the news that she had won the role, filling the shoes Joanna Cassidy was supposed to occupy. Her portrayal of Wonder Woman had both fans and critics swooning, which solidified her connection with the character. Today, when you think of Wonder Woman, you can't help but think of Lynda Carter and her journey from a local beauty contest winner to a symbol of strength and grace. Speaking of unconventional beginnings, the next 70s star had the most unexpected start to her career. Number 11. Farah Fawcett. In the beginning, Fawcett became internationally renowned thanks to her iconic red swimsuit poster. She looked so beautiful that it became the best-selling pinup in history. But her appeal wasn't all about her looks. She also shone as Jill Monroe in the initial season of Charlie's Angels from 1976 to 1977. TV Guide recognized her greatness by ranking her 26th on the list of 50 greatest TV stars of all time in 1966, but this was just the beginning. In 1968, she starred in commercials and made guest appearances on television. Her talent graced various TV series in the 70s, including recurring roles in Harry O in 1974 and The $6 Million Man, where she starred alongside her husband at the time, Lee Majors. Her career's pivotal moment arrived in 1976, when she took on the role of Jill Monroe in ABC's Charlie's Angels, sharing the limelight with Kate Jackson and Jaclyn Smith. This show is what shot all three actors to stardom, especially Fawcett, who was then known as Farah Fawcett Majors. After one season, she decided to leave the series, leading to some legal trouble. Ultimately, she signed an agreement obliging her to make 6 guest appearances in the show's 3rd and 4th seasons, spanning from 1978 to 1980. Her performance in Charlie's Angels earned her a Golden Globe nomination. In 2009, at the age of 62, Fawcett passed away, but her work is deeply admired to this day. But a talk about female stars from the 1970s is never complete without the next legendary name on this list. Number 10. Diane Keaton. Keaton's journey began in Los Angeles, California. After initially studying drama at Santa Ana College, she made the bold choice to drop out and pursue her passion at the neighborhood playhouse in New York. She made her debut in summer stock theater before landing her first significant role in the Broadway rock musical Hair. What made her stand out was her determination not to remove her clothes, even as an understudy. She was beautiful, but the fact that she wanted to hide it from the world intrigues everyone. In 1968, Woody Allen cast her in his Broadway play, Play It Again, Sam, marking the beginning of her association with Allen, both personally and professionally. Their collaboration started with Play It Again, Sam in 1972. The same year, Francis Ford Coppola chose her for the role of Kay in The Godfather, a movie that would go on to become a timeless classic. Later, she reprised this role in the film's sequel, The Godfather Part 2, as well. She continued to work with Woody Allen in films like Sleeper and Love and Death. In 1977, she shifted from comedy to a darker role in Looking for Mr. Goodbar, which earned her a Golden Globe nomination. However, it was her role as Annie Hall in Woody Allen's Annie Hall that hit the mark. She won an Oscar and the British Award for Best Actress, while the film became a cultural marvel. Over the years, Keaton explored directing, making her mark with a documentary titled Heaven in 1987. She also directed music videos and an episode of Twin Peaks. Her acting career continued to flourish as she ventured into more mature roles in the 1990s, culminating in her first major directorial feature, Unstrung Heroes, in 1995. To this day, her films are watched over and over again. Keaton is a star who will never be forgotten. But some women are simply born to be stars, as you're about to see with the next superstar personality. Number 9. Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep, often regarded as the finest actor of our time, boasts 21 Academy Award nominations, with 3 wins to her name. Born Mary Louise Streep in 1949 in Summit, New Jersey, her roots trace back to German, Swiss German, English, and Irish ancestry through her parents. Her initial aspirations leaned towards opera, but her passion shifted to acting during her time at Vassar College. After graduation, she sharpened her skills at the Yale School of Drama. Her film debut in Julia in 1977 showcased her talent, earning her an Oscar nomination the next year for The Deer Hunter. Meryl Streep's exceptional acting earned her the Academy Award for Kramer vs. Kramer in 1979 and Sophie's Choice in 1982, where she delivered a heart-rending portrayal of a mother in a Nazi concentration camp. A professional through and through, she prepared for her roles with great dedication, delivering some of the greatest performances in films such as Silkwood, Out of Africa, and Ironweed. While she faced challenges in the early 1990s, her career rebounded with impactful roles in The Bridges of Madison County in 1995 and Marvin's Room in 1996. But 3 years later, she moved toward film production, serving as the executive producer for First Do No Harm. With a realistic outlook on her future, she believes her body of work will always live on, regardless of what lies ahead. Her self-confidence made her stand out as one of the most beautiful women in her time, and to this day, she remains just as beautiful. Speaking of timeless beauty and achievements, the next person on the list will blow your mind. Number 8. Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster's journey began long before her college days. With nearly 50 film and television credits, she was already a prominent child star of the 70s. Despite her early fame, she pursued a degree in literature at Yale, expertly navigating the challenging transition from child star to adult roles. Her debut as an actor came in the 1968 TV series Mayberry RFD, but the life-changing year of 1976 saw Foster's rise to stardom. She starred in 5 films, the most famous being Taxi Driver in 1976 and Bugsy Malone. At just 14 years old, she also made history as the youngest host of Saturday Night Live. In an interview with Warhol and Guinness, Foster talked about her aversion to intimate scenes and shared anecdotes from her experiences. So not only was she talented and beautiful, but also wise beyond her years. Her portrayal in Taxi Driver was so extraordinary that people got obsessed with her character and would try to replicate her antics. Yet she received 2 Oscars before turning 30. Her first came for her role as Sarah Tobias in The Accused in 1988, and the second for her portrayal of Clarice Starling in The Silence of the Lambs, 1991. Her impressive career spanned 45 years, and in 2013 she received Cecil B. DeMille Award at the Academy Awards, recognizing her great contributions to the entertainment industry. Known for her privacy, Foster broke her silence about her personal life during the awards ceremony, expressing how thankful she was for her 2 sons and her ex-partner of 2 decades, whom she affectionately referred to as her modern family. But nothing beats just how multi-talented some of these 70s stars were, as you're about to see. Number 7, Cathy Lee Crosby. Cathy is a woman who can do it all. She's an actor, writer, producer, and even a professional tennis player. Her journey in the entertainment industry began in 1968 with her first screen appearance on It Takes a Thief. As the 70s unfolded, she became a familiar face, making guest appearances on popular shows like Marcus Welby, Maryland, Cannon, and Barnaby Jones. In 1974, she secured the role of Diana Prince, also known as Wonder Woman, in a television movie that was meant to serve as a pilot for a potential series. Although the movie performed well in the ratings, ABC decided to go in a different direction, ultimately casting Linda Carter as the iconic comic book heroine. As the 70s transitioned into the 80s, Cathy found herself in a role that would leave a lasting mark. She became the co-host of That's Incredible, a reality show that aired on ABC from 1980 to 1984. This role would become one of her most memorable contributions to television. To this day, Crosby remains active both in front of and behind the camera. If you happen to come across an old copy of One Woman magazine from 1984, you'll find her featured in the second edition. The magazine showcases stunning full-color photos of Crosby, captured by 6 different photographers, making it a collector's gem. But no female star was as dedicated to her craft as the next person on this list. Number 6, Phyllis Davis. In the mid-1960s, Phyllis moved to California, driven by her passion for acting. Eager to learn and succeed, she enrolled in acting classes and managed to secure minor roles in a few 1966 films, including Lord Love a Duck, Spine Out alongside Elvis Presley, and The Swinger with Anne Margaret. Her fame wasn't as explosive and instantaneous as the other female stars of her time, but her talent and potential as an emerging star soon began to shine. Phyllis continued to find opportunities, even if they were in small roles, and her determination eventually paid off in 1970 when she was cast as Susan Lake in the feature film Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. Although the movie has come to be known as a cult favorite, it's also considered one of the worst films ever made. Throughout the 70s, Phyllis was making an active shift toward television. She landed a recurring role on Love American Style, appearing in 7 episodes between 1970 and 1973. Her journey included guest spots on popular shows like The Odd Couple, The Streets of San Francisco, and Policewoman. But it was her portrayal of Beatrice Travis on the widely recognized series Vegas, running from 1978 to 1981, that remains a standout in her career. Her dedication to acting continued into the 90s, but sadly, she passed away at the age of 73 in Henderson, Nevada, in 2013 after a battle with cancer. Her contributions to the industry remain important to this day. Davis was very dedicated to her work, and there are many female stars just like her who simply refuse to give up. It's time for today's subscriber pick. This star belonged to 70s Hollywood, but she stood out from the crowd, always defying conventional beauty standards and embracing her uniqueness with open arms. She was 6 feet and 7 inches tall, with messy, wavy black hair. Still, she would always walk out there with no makeup on, looking like she was all over the place with unbrushed hair. She never put much money into her clothing either, but even then many people found her hard to resist. Her presence drew people in. She always starred in films that followed none of the rules set down for your usual storytelling. They all won critical acclaim for their out-of-the-box narratives. But then, something happened that changed things forever. To this day, no one knows what went down, but the star disappeared off the face of the earth. She had already signed several movie roles, but they were all left hanging as she went missing and was never found again. Do you think that she disappeared on purpose after being tired of this world and its expectations? Or did something terrible happen to her? Remember to comment down below and let us know what you think. Now, on to the next topic. Number 5. Goldie Hawn. Goldie, thanks to her lively personality, had a massively successful film career during the late 60s and early 70s. Her journey started as a cheerful dancer in her 1968 debut film, The One and Only Genuine Original Family Band, where she was credited as Goldie Jean. However, her Oscar win came in 1969, which she got for her supporting role in Cactus Flower. After that, Goldie's film career reached new heights. She took on several roles ranging from successful comedies to satirical dramas like The Girl from Petrovka and The Sugarland Express in 1974, as well as Shampoo in 1975. Goldie didn't limit herself to the silver screen. She also made TV audiences happy with two remarkable specials, Pure Goldie in 1971 and The Goldie Hawn Special in 1978, the latter marking her return to the spotlight after a 2-year hiatus following the release of The Duchess and The Dirtwater Fox. During this break, she focused on her marriage and the birth of her son. Hawn's versatility was the most fascinating part about her, as she effortlessly went from comedy to drama. Some people are blessed with a massive amount of talent and unique qualities, just like the next celebrity on our list. Number 4. Cheryl Ladd. An American actor and singer, she is best known for her portrayal of Chris Monroe in the famous TV series Charlie's Angels. She was born on July 12, 1951 in Huron, South Dakota, and got married to David Ladd in 1973. Even after their divorce in 1980, she retained her married name, Cheryl Ladd, which contributed to her eventual stardom. In 1970, Cheryl entered Hollywood with dreams of becoming a recording artist, but her acting talent shone a lot more brightly. She began with small roles in various shows like The Rookies, The Partridge Family, and Happy Days. Her big break arrived when she replaced Farah Fawcett as Chris Monroe in Charlie's Angels. After that, she voiced Melody in Hanna-Barbera's Josie and the Pussycats. During her acting peak, she seized the opportunity to rekindle her passion for singing, and in the late 70s, Ladd became more visible in musical comedy variety series and special events, such as her 1980 performance of the national anthem at Super Bowl XIV. Her greatest musical achievement was the 1978 hit Think It Over, which reached number 34 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and earned a gold disc. In 1982, Walking in the Rain, the closing song from Charlie's Angels, was released as a single in Japan. Still, Cheryl remained a familiar face on TV, with roles in numerous movies and TV shows spanning several genres. Her presence in the entertainment world is characterized by her versatility as an actor and her one-hit wonder status in the world of music. Number 3. Fay Dunaway. Dunaway has always been celebrated for her portrayal of strong-willed female characters, and she was a prominent figure during Hollywood's second golden age. After starring in several successful films, the entire world knew of her talent. Surprisingly, she was able to hold her own alongside the era's biggest male stars in the 70s. Initially, Dunaway experimented with beauty pageants during her teenage years, but later shifted her focus to acting. Her path to Hollywood started with her role in the counterculture comedy The Happening in 1967, just months before she impressed audiences as Bonnie Parker in Bonnie and Clyde, as a complex Depression-era outlaw. Subsequent successes included The Thomas Crown Affair, Puzzle of a Downfall Child, and Little Big Man. Her portrayal of Evelyn Mulray in Chinatown epitomized the classic femme fatale, while also unearthing the wounded core of her character, earning her critical acclaim and award nominations. But her career took an unexpected turn when she delivered an over-the-top performance in the ill-fated biopic Mommy Dearest in 1981, which temporarily put a barrier on her success track. This led to her becoming a beloved icon in the gay community. She later expressed regret over her role because, after that, her career path took a rocky turn through films like The Wicked Lady in 1983 and Supergirl in 1984. Still, her enduring legacy earned her a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Over the years, she engaged in various projects, including directing and television work. After a hiatus, Dunaway returned to the limelight at the 2017 Academy Awards, where she became part of a memorable Best Picture announcement event. In recent times, she has appeared in multiple films and still continues to influence the entertainment industry. But there have been some incredible stars from the 70s who died while doing what they love. The next celebrity on this list is a prime example of that. Number 2. Carrie Fisher. Fisher is among America's most talented women, hailing from Burbank, California. She is most famously known for her portrayal of Princess Leia Organa, the fearless rebel leader, in the original Star Wars trilogy from 1977 to 1983. Leia's courage, assertiveness, and resilience transformed her into an iconic figure in the genres of science fiction and fantasy, elevating Fisher to international stardom. Her journey continued with the Star Wars sequel trilogy, although her life was cut short during the trilogy's production. Beyond her acting career, Fisher dipped her hands into literature. Her autobiographical novels, including Postcards from the Edge from 1987 and The Best Awful There Is from 2004, offered candid glimpses into her real-life struggles with physical and mental health, as well as her complex personal relationships. Fisher also made significant uncredited contributions as a script doctor, fine-tuning the scripts for popular movies like Sister Act, Last Action Hero, and The Wedding Singer. But then, Fisher's Broadway debut as a singer occurred in 1973 when she joined the cast of Irene, a revival of James Montgomery's musical from 1919. In the mid-1970s, she honed her skills at the Central School of Speech and Drama in London and Sarah Lawrence College in Yonkers, New York, although she eventually left college. Her silver screen debut unfolded in the comedy Shampoo in 1975, where she portrayed Lorna Karpf, a spirited Beverly Hills teenager with a daring plan to seduce her mother's lover. Through this role, she explored a project with a mature cast and a unique narrative, very different from her Star Wars role. It also showed how an actor should never be limited to one famous role her entire life. She can do all sorts of different things and still be successful at her job. But the next star on this list was far more talented than any of you can imagine, even if she had a short life. Number 1, Olivia Newton-John. She was born in Cambridge, England in 1948 and got famous for her outstanding voice and perfect pitch. To start her career the right way, she moved to Australia and then to England, where she would sing duets. She even showed up in a science fiction film, but only after she appeared on a British TV show did the glory days of her solo career begin. She was all about folk pop and country music and even won a Grammy Award. But her role in the movie Grease with John Travolta and their magnificent work together was the highest point in her career. Later in the 2000s, she continued to create music, often collaborating with other artists. She also dedicated her time to efforts in cancer research and treatment, playing a vital role in establishing the Olivia Newton-John Cancer Wellness and Research Center in Australia. Apart from talent, she also had an unquenchable thirst for knowledge, so she never stopped dipping her hands into things she wanted to know more about. Throughout her life, she received multiple honors. She was also recognized as an Officer of the Order of Australia and later elevated to a Companion of the Order of Australia. She died in Santa Ynez, California in 2022, but her impact extends beyond her art. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.